Welcome to this video. In this video, we will be discussing a proposed bill that would bar the U.S. government from funding international conservation groups that finance or support human rights violations. In response to a 2019 BuzzFeed News investigation that found that the Worldwide Fund for Nature had backed anti-poaching forces, who had allegedly tortured and killed people in national parks, the House Committee on Natural Resources has been looking into the issue. The proposed law, which is bipartisan support, would require federal agencies to monitor international projects they support for abuses and, if any are discovered, to stop sending money. Every year, agencies would have to submit to Congress a report on human rights abuses that have occurred at U.S.-funded projects. The sponsors of the bill are Committee Chair Rep. Raul M. Grijalva, Democrat of Arizona, and Ranking Member Rep. Bruce Westerman, Republican of Arkansas. Conservation groups receiving government cash would have to provide human rights policies detailing what procedures they would follow if abuses occurred, and must name anyone they partner with abroad, such as local police forces or park rangers, who would then be vetted by the Fish and Wildlife Service and State Department. The legislation would also increase the extent to which indigenous peoples are protected in conservation projects that affect them. Donor recipients would have to show that they have a process for meaningful consultation with indigenous people before their historic lands are used for conservation, and must offer a grievance redress mechanism for indigenous people to raise concerns. When abuses are discovered, they would have to be reported to the federal government, and the group receiving taxpayer money would have 60 days to design a plan to resolve the issue. The U.S. government would be able to halt funding for the project until the Director of the Fish and Wildlife Service and the Secretary of State confirm that those involved have taken effective steps to bring perpetrators to justice and prevent human rights violations. John Knox, a former UN Special Rapporteur for Human Rights and the Environment, called the bill a huge step forward in an area that really needs greater attention, and a potential model for other governments and international funders. He also said that after the WWF scandal broke, it became clear that many of the major sources of international conservation funding, including the United Nations and the United States, did not have effective standards in place to ensure that their funds wouldn't be used for human rights abuses. In a statement, WWF said it was in favor of the legislation. They said that safeguarding the rights of communities is fundamental to the success of conservation. We support the goals of this bill to strengthen programs that conserve nature and wildlife by ensuring they also protect and promote the rights, well-being, and safety of local and indigenous communities in the landscapes where the programs operate. The supporters of the bill hope that the renewed focus on human rights, accountability, and oversight in this bill will be a model for conservation programs both in the U.S. and abroad. We should applaud this proposed law for helping to ensure that the U.S. government does not fund conservation groups that finance or support human rights violations. This is an important step towards ensuring a better future of conservation efforts and protecting the rights of indigenous peoples in the U.S. and abroad. Thanks for watching.